Hi everyone, today's topic is called cognates. So what are cognates? Cognates are words that share similar meaning, spelling, and pronunciation in two languages. There are three types of cognates. The first one is exact, which means those words are written exactly the same, but just the pronunciation change. For example, chocolate in Spanish is chocolate. As you can see, it's the same way that you write it in both languages, but just the pronunciation change. Then we have the direct cognates. That means that they are very similar, just the ending change a little bit. For example, we have family, and in Spanish we have familia. As you can see, the ly was substituted by lia, but it's exactly the same. They just change the ending. So that's why they are cognates, because they are very similar, just the ending change. And the last type is indirect form, which means that the words are coming from Latin, so they are sharing the same roots and the word can be like similar. We have a couple of rules to know how can we make those kind of cognates. The first rule say, usually the words that ending in A or O have similar word in English. You just drop the last vowel or add the letter E. We are going to see some examples. The first one, aire. As you can see, the word in English is air, right? You just drop the E and then you make it in English, right? Or the opposite way, you just add the E and then you have the word in Spanish, aire. Atleta. In this case, you change the E that is in English for the A, and then you eliminate the letter H. Some of the words in Spanish, they do not have TH as in English. Then we have the next one, caso, which is case, causa, cause, costo, cost, creativo, creative, crédito, credit, dieta, diet. So as you can see, it's just the ending, the last vowel, the one that is dropped or it's changed by the E. Even though you don't know the words in Spanish, if you read them, probably you will make an inference and know what is the meaning in English. The rule number two, if the words end with tion, it's very likely that the Spanish word will end in sion. Basically, is the ción. Can you see that the O has the accent, the tilde, that is the little line on the O? This is very important when you're writing the words. So, for example, if you have abbreviation in English, the word in Spanish will look abreviación. Just they change the T by C and then add the tilde on the letter O. Sensación. So if you have sensación, which is the word in English? Yes, sensation. Then we have separación, separation, situación, situation. Okay? This is pretty simple. Rule number three, words that end in ARY have a similar cognate with ario or aria. Remember the difference between ario and aria. As you can see, it's the same ending. The difference is the O and A. That means if the word is masculine, then we have the O, but if the word is feminine, then it's A. Let's look at the example. The first one is aniversario, that is anniversary. As you can see, the ending was ARY. We just dropped this and change it by the first ending, that is ario, right? The same happened here. Diccionario, dictionary. Itinerario, itinerary. Necesario, necessary. In this case, if it's feminine or masculine, we just change the ending. But most of the words will end with O, okay? Rule number four. Spanish words that end with that or that usually are substituted by ty in English. For example, authority is autoridad. We change the ty by dat. As I already mentioned, in Spanish, we don't have th words. That's why in Spanish, autoridad, we just have t, no th, okay? Dificultad, the ending is tad, so is difficulty. Ciudad, ending is that, and the word is city. Comunidad, community. Then we have the rule number five. If the words end with or, the English cognate is the same, just the pronunciation will change. For example, actor in Spanish is actor. Same, just the pronunciation change. Author is autor. Just we eliminate the H. As I already mentioned, they are not words with TH in Spanish. The next one, color, color. Director, director. Doctor, doctor. As you can see, all the words are the same in English and Spanish, right? Just the pronunciation change. Rule number 6. English words that have FF or PH usually are substituted by F in Spanish. So we don't have PH in Spanish. So we have elefante, as you can see in English, we have elephant is PH, right? In Spanish, it's substituted just by the F. The next one, dificultad, difficulty. In English is 2F, but in Spanish is just one. Next one, farmacia, pharmacy. Same thing. PH is substituted by F. Photo, photo. Okay, just the letters are substituted. Then we have different endings here. If the word ends with ik, ct, id, or ment, we need to add o to the word. Let's see some examples. Basic, we're going to add the O, and when we have básico, right? Then we have correct. The ending is CT. So we are going to add the O at the end. So it's going to be in Spanish, correcto. Next one, acid. The ending is ID. We are going to add the O, and we will get ácido. Argument, ending MENT. We are going to add the O, and we will have argumento. Next. What happens if the ending is ANT? We're going to add the letter E at the end. So we have the first one, elegant. We're going to add the E, and in Spanish will look like this, elegante. Next one, important. Adding the E in Spanish will sound importante. What happens if the ending is anse or ense? We are going to change by ansia or ensia. So if we have importance, the first thing that we have to drop is the last four letters, anse, and change it by ansia. So in Spanish will sound like importancia. The last one, violence. Drop the ens ending and change it by encia so we can have the Spanish version. Violencia. What happened with the words that ends with OUS, O's? We are going to drop this ending and we are going to change by oso. So if we have delicious, we're going to drop the ending OUS and change it by oso, and in Spanish will look like this, delicioso. Next one, famous. We're going to drop OUS and change it by oso, and then we are going to have famoso. Test yourself. Write the word in Spanish, look at the rules, and add the tildes when needed. For example, the first one, cost, it was in the rule number 1. The rule number 1 say that most of the words in Spanish, they have a vowel at the end, and then we have to drop it and then change it by a E or by another vowel. So in this case, cost in Spanish is going to be adding another vowel. So in Spanish will look like this, costo, right? Number 2, situation. Check the ending. Tion. Remember that when we have this ending, we have to substitute the T by the C and then add the tilde on the O. So in Spanish, will sound like this. Situación. For the other ones, you have to do it by yourself. I just put here in pink the endings so you can go back to the rules and find which are the words that you have to substitute by these endings. Please, if you have any question, raise your hand so I can help you. Have a good one.